So when did you first experience the calling to go to Peru?
About a year ago, a year leading up to the trip, there was a group from the previous year that went to Peru, and they shared about having gone to Peru, and I'd always wanted to go on a mission trip. But there was something different about this. One of the people that was sharing was an 11-year-old kid.
So what did you think when your dad first said that he wants to go to Peru?
Nervous, scared, but excited at the same time. And I know that he had been talking about it for a long time.
So McKenna, tell us what your response was when your dad said that he wanted to take you guys to Peru on a mission trip.
I was excited to experience the culture and just see how it's different in the different places of the world, and just to experience being with God and sharing Him. So what did you learn in the pre-class?
What we basically did was we talked about what we would be doing there, and we talked about translators, how to talk with them, and how to react with the kids. And I learned that the Evangel Cube was a little puzzle that we showed the people that were hearing the story of the gospel, that we'd be showing that to.
A little bit about what was involved in preparing to go on the trip.
Well, for preparing, we went into a class, and it was 4 classes, and they were 4 hours each, and we all came together and we learned about how to lead the Bible studies and how to evangelize, and just basically what to expect when you get there. I went out by myself with a translator and a church member in Peru, and then I was walking down the street and I was like, okay, we need to pray and we need to figure out what house we're gonna go to. Went in and I was just talking to her, having like a regular conversation, and then I started to advance a little bit, and I talked about her religion, and she said that she used to be Catholic, but she wasn't like really strong, and she kind of just like left it behind with her past. And so I asked if I could share the story of God's love with her, and she said sure. And so I used the Evangel Cube, and it's basically just like a puzzle that we used that shares the gospel. And I asked her, would you like for Jesus to be your savior? And she said yes. So I prayed with her, and then she was just very happy, and you just feel really excited for them and just happy. How has the worship changed for you?
I really didn't think that I knew what worship was until I actually got back, because being there, you had to go to worship at night and in the morning every day, and you really grew closer and closer to God as you found out what worship really was, and each day that you went out into the village.
Can you tell me a little bit about what's different in your life now that you've come back from Peru?
Well, I think that my prayer life has really changed, because before I kind of just like prayed about more for me and just like not even like asking for forgiveness. So tell us about how you changed since the trip.
I've changed in a lot of ways. You know, there's a lot of things that I learned when I was on the trip about my own walk. Most importantly, probably prayer, and to pray differently. And so McKenna, tell me maybe a verse that comes to mind about your trip.
I'll probably say Matthew 24:14, where Jesus says that we have to preach the gospel to all nations and all people groups, and then the end will come.
Do you ever see yourself going on another trip?
Definitely.